Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show! And the players who are making fun of me will introduce themselves now. Would you go ahead and start us off?
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Thaddeus, the Human Vengeance Paladin.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who is a Tiefling Wild Magic Sorcerer.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a rogue pirate.
I'm Zach.
A human.
I'm Zach, and I play Hunter, who's a Warforged Fighter Ranger.
So, a couple quick announcements now that you know everybody, and then we'll get right into a recap and then straight into the show. We stream on Twitch every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and then post our episodes to YouTube the following Wednesday. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items as well as a custom wild magic table. All of our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Compotech. And then our character portraits, which you would see on the info cards if I wasn't already displaying the battle cam, or as you may have seen in the beginning reel, were drawn by an artist called Carrie Peach. And they are awesome because she is awesome. If you're watching us on Twitch, you can check the channel page for links and info to pretty much everything I just mentioned. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can check the video description for similar information. And then if you want even more information about us, such as when we have to cancel randomly or things like that, you can follow us on Twitter at AntiheroesAnon. And if you missed that just now, you can check the video description or channel page. Other than that, we hope you enjoy, and we hope to see you back again. But we're going to get straight into a recap. So, the party picked up Eli and Dawn in the city of Redwater on their way to save Mandus in the city of Ravenmoor. Once they arrived in Ravenmoor, they saw that Queen Ixlati and her UNT servants had been enslaving citizens of Ravenmoor to build a pyramid over the ruins of First Light Orphanage and a portal to the Shadowfell. The group then went into the sewers to find a group of refugees who they then defended from a vampire spawn attack. The next morning, the group went to the Temple of the Raven Queen, where they encountered Kuor, a Warforged mind flayer, who they've encountered on a number of occasions before. He made an offer to help them rid the city of the UNT, and based on their bad blood before, they promptly turned him down and fought him, resulting in both sides taking heavy injuries, but no one dying on either side, except for some rando Warforged who don't really matter. Then, below the temple, the party found an area called the Library of Bones and Memories, where they learned more about the Raven Queen and her origins. And then in a hidden back room known as the Sepulchre of Ravens, they found a memory of the Raven Queen's ascension to godhood, and had to prevent the vampire Alkeen, who then appeared from seizing that memory, which took the form of a crystal raven skull. And we are picking up right in the middle of a heated battle between the party and Alkeen's henchmen. Alkeen himself was recently, in the last turn, vanquished by a well-placed sunbeam from Harmony. His sort of shadowy form collapsing in on itself as he shouted something to the effect of, "Fine, if I can't have it for myself, my minions will bring it to me." And then all of his minions kind of just turned ominously to you, they themselves being tall, pale, elven-looking figures with perfectly white hair tied back in long ponytails, and then wearing these sort of half-face skull masks that only reveal their mouths for the most part, and you've just been able to see that they're completely expressionless throughout everything. But we're just going to pick up right in the middle of the battle. Alkeen dropped to the Raven Skull, which is, as Nick pointed out, that tiny D4 in the corner of the map on some stairs. And one can only assume that the fight is about to take a turn based on that. So I'll get some music, and then we will get going.
So who was after
Well, okay, so Harmony, was there anything else you wanted to do on your turn? I think you took your action.
I took my action. I can't move because I will.
You'll die.
You'll probably die.
I used my bonus action to use the second spell, so I don't even have a bonus action anymore.
Okay.
So I think I'm Done.
Okay, then we'll just move on to you. I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything. Immediately after Harmon is this group of masked assailants. And they all heard Alkeem's words echo throughout the chambers, and then the rest of you hear kind of echoing throughout the chamber from all directions, seemingly coming from everywhere and nowhere at once. Just a hissed voice that says, "Do whatever it takes. Bring me the memory." And they are going to turn on their authorities. Let's see. So there's two next to Harmon.
Yep.
There was one that was on the ground, and that's the one next to Yakko. So he's going to pick up his spear and stand up, and then turn that spear towards Harmon. First attack is a 21.
Yep.
Okay. I need to roll up their stats. So that's 9 piercing damage. Then, lucky for you, relatively low necrotic damage. 18 points of necrotic damage.
I think I'm down again.
27.
Yeah.
You're 24 HP,
I
right?
have 24 HP. I'm down again. Sunbeam's gone.
So this entire area is plunged into darkness then.
Well, it's infinitely, right? That's what that is.
We still have stuff lit up.
Yes. Yeah,
My
just
stats.
the area where the memory
Yeah,
is
over
darkness. So that was one of his attacks. He will move forward towards
This one?
yes.
Where's Dawn?
Dawn's right here.
Yeah, I think towards dawn.
Okay. So he's leaving Yakko's
What's-
threat range.
What's this other?
That's the spiritual one.
Got it.
Yeah, so he'll leave Yakko's threat range. So
Alright.
Yakko can take an attack of
Will.
opportunity if he wants.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yeah, works.
I got a.
You got it.
Yeah, it's like a 27 to hit
Okay, yeah, that hits.
with a bite. So that is 7 piercing damage?
Does he have to make a saving throw?
Because I'm not pouncing.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see, this is the one that was prone, so he's taken 7. Okay, so yeah, Yakko gets a chunk out of that guy's heel as he's fleeing, but you can see that that guy just doesn't have any sort of expression on his face as he charges towards Dawn and rolls a natural 20. So that is 10 points of damage plus 17, 5, and 8. This is going to hurt Dawn. 16, 26. It's 26 plus 20. 54, 54, yep. Dawn goes unconscious.
Oh my
Product
goodness.
damage. And so her spiritual weapon actually stays around because that's not concentration. She just can't control it. And then he turns and points a hand towards Eli, and 3 spear-like blasts launch out of his hand.
Same one?
Attacks does this one have?
They get 2 spear attacks and 1 spell that takes 1 action to cast. So this is Eldritch Blast.
Wait, if they get the multi-tech, isn't it like an either or?
His says 2 spear attacks and casts 1 spell that takes 1 action to cast.
Wow.
It takes one.
So he's actually going to hit with all 3 of these. This is why I say you guys are still in danger.
Yeah, I see that now.
Wow, that was high damage. Sorry, I cannot do math. Eight. Plus. Yeah, so all 3 of those blasts strike Eli in the back as he was flying towards Alkeem. And he kind of turns around and sees Dawn on the ground, Harmony on the ground, and begins to make his way back this direction. And then there are still 2 more of these guys. One next to Hunter, who's going to get advantage because you were using the bow. The scope. So that's 25.
Yep, I'll hit.
19, so that's a miss. And another 25. 2 hits. That's
Depending on the deck.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's only one hit. This is appropriate.
Oh, God. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm
no
dead.
No worries. I'll take away one.
Woo!
So that is 8 piercing damage. Have done before.
Okay.
Thank you for catching me.
Yeah, I needed to. Hold my
14 points of necrotic damage. Not bad at all.
Alright.
And yeah, he will cast his spell. So Mara, a skeletal hand appears in front of you and tries to clutch at your throat.
Did the darkness go away?
It did,
Okay,
yeah.
right.
So all of this is visible now.
Yeah, okay.
Does a 20 hit your AC?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
So that's 3d8s. Wow, I only have one 8 out here. Oh no, there's this.
Yeah, maybe.
There's always more.
I've never wanted
We're not
to.
out of this yet.
So 15 points of necrotic damage, and you cannot be healed until sometime. Let me find out when.
Your concentration also goes down.
No. It just it's until the end of your next turn. Until the start of your next turn. So until your turn starts, you can't be healed. And then there's one more of these guys.
This one.
Yes. He stands over Harmony and Dawn and points his spear towards Harmony's throat and then looks directly at Patty's. Hunter's turn.
Okay. Okay.
Thaddeus, I think, is going to yell to Hunter, "Take care of yours.
Okay.
Have a plan."
Alright.
So yours is the one that Mara stabbed in the back, so it's looking pretty injured at this point.
Yeah, so I will stow my bow, use a bonus to bring out my sword and shield, and then I will start swinging.
Okay.
And, let's see. Alright. We got a... It's probably gonna hit. That's a 30.
Yes.
With a... I'm using the
Thank you
magic...
for checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using my magic sword.
You've seen that these guys aren't particularly resistant to non-magic.
Oh,
weapons,
so okay, well, that's fine. Let's roll all the hits first. That one might not hit. That one is a 16.
16 does not hit. So
Okay.
after taking the first attack, he kind of parries the second away with his spear.
Okay, and then a 19.
Does hit. So 2 things.
That is plus 14. So that's 19 magic slashing.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't have any maneuvers left, so I don't have anything really I can do.
He's looking really bad at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like as if a breath
gust of
wind
wind
would
would-
just blow him right over.
Yeah,
You can see dark blood pouring out from him,
Yeah.
but yet he remains expressionless.
Can't do an offhand.
Mm-hmm. No, I use my bust to bring the weapons out. Yeah.
He also has a shield on, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's not your round, unless you want to move.
I don't.
Then it is Byako's turn.
I guess Byako will just finish off the one I was attacking. I guess.
Yeah, so he's gonna run and try and pounce
Run and
it.
pounce, yeah.
Right. So can you move Byako towards the one that's next to Hunter?
I rolled a natural 20.
That's gonna hit.
Wasted on this
Do I need to
guy.
roll damage? Do I need to roll damage?
Can you do less than 7 points of damage? Not a natural one. He's dead.
No.
Yeah, as you finish him off, Byako's just like kind of mauls into him, and you can just
Yeah,
see
yes.
that his expression never changes as he just expires.
Okay.
So he is gone.
So
Anything
there's
else
that
for
one.
Byako?
For the well, actually, no, he'll stay there. I think
2.
2.
Namara.
Okay. So let's try to use the Fuji.
Oh, you're gonna throw it at him? Which one? The one that is pointing its spear at Harmony's throat, or
Yes.
the other one? Okay.
Okay,
This is
so
not
that's 21.
Yes, that hits. Unfortunately, you don't have any allies who are conscious nearby.
Does the spirit weapon count as an ally?
So you're not gonna get sneak attack.
She doesn't get sneak attack unless she's melee, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't get sneak attack.
You could move a few spaces up and get it melee, and then you get your sneak attack.
Stab it.
Yeah, if you wanted to
Instead
hit
of
him
throwing
from here, you get his attack.
Alright, let's do that.
Yeah.
You want her to reroll the attack?
No,
It's the
she's
same,
already.
it's the same attack.
Okay.
So,
Oh man, yeah. Here you go.
plus 1 plus. How much is your sneak attack? Is 6. But 4.
No, it's 76.
76.
For sneak attack.
Yeah. And I
76?
get 1
Oh,
Plus
sorry.
1
plus 1.
Yeah. I was like 76 points of damage.
8d6.
She rolled all 6s on 13 d6s.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How much points?
That's like 3.
So 25.
25 points of damage.
That's bad.
Did you add your extra?
Oh, I always forget that. 30.
And then you get knockback attack. One hero.
Yeah, you drop one attack.
Okay, so that's just right.
You got okay.
It's getting worse. It's getting tired.
15.
15 does not hit. So this one has that sort of shadowy armor whirling around him, and your blade just you pierce through with the first one, but the second one gets caught in one of those shadows. You can't get through.
Okay.
Anything else from Mara?
Let me go back over towards center.
And you get your free disengage
Yep.
as part of your attack, so he can't
Where
swing
do you
at
want
you.
to be?
Yeah, right beside him.
It's Eli's turn.
Buddies.
Eli, looking very hurt, flying in the air.
Save the day.
Save yourself.
Eli's gonna do something cool.
Use smite all enemies.
Eli is going to cast a spell that, as he does it, you can see something that Harmony has done several times, which is that he sort of twists the magic and changes it. It starts out as one spell, and then second shimmering light appears in his other hand, and he will twin spell out Healing Word to Harmony and to Dawn.
Nice.
Oh, that's good. There you go. Good job, Eli.
That
Way to
saves
go.
me, because I was gonna do something really dangerous.
Okay,
To
well,
save them.
that's good.
I don't have any d4s because all my d4s are on the map. Can
Yeah.
each of you roll? He'll do it at 3rd level, so 3d4.
Her.
Yeah, so just
So here's Dawn. I got 9 for Harmony.
7 for Dawn.
Okay. And you can see life return to both of their eyes.
We're still technically on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Thaddeus, it's your turn.
That's true. Alright, Thaddeus is going to jump down.
As he does so, the one that is next to Harmony plunges the spear down into her.
How?
With
He had a
his
held
free-
action.
He had a held action.
Yeah.
He didn't use an action. And so a 26 will hit you. So that's 7 points of piercing damage
That's so loud.
and a bunch of necrotic.
Okay.
I don't think there's any way,
Yeah, there's some 7s in here, so
It doesn't matter. I mean, it had to be above 2.
he did it. So Harmony, the light comes back, and then she immediately goes back unconscious. But that's all he can do with his held action. Thaddeus?
Okay.
No, yeah.
But yeah. Thaddeus is going to make 2 attacks here.
Okay.
Hey, but at least it's not too deathly.
Yeah, thank goodness. Oh my god.
Let's see. Is a 16 hit?
No, not quite.
Okay, so one.
The shadows that are whipping around
Yeah.
catch the sword and kind of batter away.
Hey, is this guy? Do I do extra damage to this guy? Is he an elf? Like, is this finally gonna happen?
I mean, technically, he's a humanoid,
Okay.
but
Fair. Nope. No buts.
he's far enough removed from the Fae that yeah, it's not gonna happen. So your second attack was higher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's it.
So I'm gonna do 16 cold plus 6 radiant.
Was how many radiant?
6.
Okay, wow. He takes that damage expressionlessly
Yeah.
and turns his gaze to you.
Now I'm gonna do something incredibly stupid and dangerous. I'm going to, with my last action,
That's right, you're haste.
yes, cast Aura of Vitality. And
Okay.
bring harmony back up.
Okay.
Why is that dangerous?
Because it's a concentration spell.
Then you'll lose haste.
Exactly.
Oh no!
I mean, you're not gonna fall down.
3 HP.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm awake. That's all that matters.
But you fall down.
No, I don't fall down. I'm like, I'm
Just
just
you don't lose your action.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yep, okay. Until the spell ends. It's a bonus action to cause one creature to roll at 2d3 and 2d6. Yep.
Yep.
So you're good.
Okay.
So did you recover that much too?
No.
That's
Only
just
one
one
of
person.
my choice.
Oh, I thought he said including you.
No.
But I guess including you
But
would be
again,
one.
until the
one.
spell ends, I can use one bonus action until I get my home.
That's pretty
Which is
cool.
30 feet.
Yeah.
So
That's really
anybody who goes down, I can, once I get actions again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is you. Anything else from Thaddeus?
Nope.
As you just sort of move from a blur of blue and silver to a slower version of yourself. Let's see.
At least I'm not stunned.
Yeah, at least you're
Got
kind
that.
their shadows leap off of them and take human form and are going to make attacks against, I guess, one against Harmony, one against Thaddeus.
I'm playing dead. You don't have to attack me.
It will attack you at advantage and roll a natural 20.
Oh.
This is horrible. I also rolled max damage.
Doesn't matter. I only have 3 hit points, so don't even bother rolling damage.
Yeah, I rolled a really high damage.
I don't know. He didn't say. He's just picking on the T-Point today.
You're right there.
Yeah, so is Thaddeus, and he's
I know, but one of their shadows can't reach you, or can reach Thaddeus.
excuses.
Look, you're a big threat, okay? Thaddeus, the other one, is probably going to miss you with a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that misses.
So that's the shadow's turns. Then Dawn is conscious again, right?
Yeah, although she's still down.
She's gonna stand up and she's actually gonna take a swing, her swings with her mace at the shadow, sort of sensing that they might be undead and knowing that her mace does more damage against undead. She'll try and get rid of the shadow itself.
Hey, are they though?
Hmm?
Are they undead?
The shadows are.
Okay, shut.
2 hits, so that's cool. So she does bludgeoning damage.
I think so. Actually, this is definitely like double.
Lucky,
the-
yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
It's like number 3.
Does someone want to roll for me 8d6?
Nope.
No, this is against the shadow that she's attacking. So.
You roll it on. Here's the D6.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Oh, that's good on that side.
Roll it again.
It's 2.
So, 29.
29 points of damage. Wow, okay, so yeah, she takes her swing at one of the shadows and completely obliterates it, and then takes a second swing at the second shadow and completely obliterates that. So now it's just the elf-like.
She's
Good.
got her spirit well.
She does, that's true.
Or she could
will-
use her bonus action to heal me.
That's true, you're unconscious, aren't you? She
It's
will-
like, do I have to? Please.
She does not know healing, but she can move up to her, can she?
She'd be leaving
She'll-
for her.
Should be, yeah, shouldn't take me away.
Unless she can move onto the spiritual weapon, or can she move
She
the
can.
spiritual weapon?
Oh, if she moves into the space.
She can share a space with
Yeah.
the spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
She can go here.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So she will use a second willow slot. No, she'll use them. So that's 12 plus 5. That's
welcome back,
17
welcome back,
points.
welcome back.
Thank you.
For the
Now I'm gonna go down 4 times.
Yeah.
I just want to be up for my turn so I can do something.
I really
And
need to go
it is your turn now.
Good. I'm
Thank
fucking
God.
dimension dooring out of there right to where Alpine disappeared
Okay,
and
yeah,
grabbing that memory.
you are there then.
Oh, I see.
Hooray!
And I'm going to run up the stairs and
Good
hide
shot.
behind something if I can.
Do you want to just run away?
Do I have? Can I make it to the statue?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Behind the statue.
Isn't that behind the statue?
I mean, yeah, that's
I
fine.
guess there's a wall there. I
It's
didn't
kind
see
of-
the wall. Yeah.
It's sort of behind.
It's like flush with the wall.
I'm like running over, diving, and I'm kind of squatting behind the statue.
You
And
don't
I'm just gonna-
have a hiding.
And I'm gonna bonus action potion
Good,
Okay.
good thinking. Good call.
because I've got a greater healing potion, which I'm now drinking.
Okay.
Oh, but it's their turn now.
Hold on, I can roll my healing.
Yeah, you roll your healing next.
How many d4s?
2d4 plus 2 is a regular.
It's a greater.
44 plus 1. I remember that.
You're alive. For now.
We got this. That wouldn't happen.
Sorry. it got stuck in my brain.
Yep, 44 plus 1.
44 plus.
Horse.
Easy beyond roll, guys.
Yeah. 10, 11 plus 4 is 15.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah.
Basically double my HP.
Perfect.
Alright, well, I think these guys know what they need to do.
Harmony.
No. I mean, that's next on the list. They will, the first one will take 1 stab at Dawn with the spear.
I put the memory in my bag. By the way.
Okay, sounds good. So
Your
that's
brain.
15 points, Dawn's AC. 20 with her plate armor and shield, so that's a miss. So we'll take the second attack, same thing, doesn't hit. 2 attacks against Thaddeus, then I'm just doing the spear attacks.
So you
first.
usually lose your turn, but you don't like lose anything else, right?
You don't grant advantage, right?
No, I don't. Okay.
Okay. Well, the 2 attacks then against Thaddeus are a 25 and a 24. 16 and 17 on them.
If you
I
shield,
don't think I can shield because that's a reaction, right?
Do you lose
yes.
your
Yes, it's a reaction.
Yeah.
He loses the turn because haste right now.
You don't get your
that is...
previous turn's reaction?
No,
No.
because it's his.
We'll
Because
do
you
these
didn't
attacks.
lose your turn until your turn, right?
Let's look at haste.
No, it's like until the end of your next turn.
Until after my next turn. When the spell ends.
From
Right,
this
right when the spell ends, you lose
to
it.
the end of his next turn.
Can't take action until the end of it.
It doesn't say anything about reactions, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll knock off one of them. I'll use haste.
Okay.
Not haste.
It's
Shield.
do it.
So then only one of those points. So that's 10 points of piercing damage. And then the necrotic.
So the shadows weren't doing the necrotic damage?
No, they never. It's always.
They just had shadows on them.
Like every other creature you've encountered in Ravenloft so far,
Yeah.
there's an attached shadow and raven creature.
Triple,
So
like,
there's 17 points of necrotic damage. So then you need to make that's a total of 27, so just a DC 10. Though-
con save.
You have disadvantage on this.
It doesn't matter. My first roll was a 2.
Okay, so the aura goes away.
And that was how much? 17 total?
27 total. 10 piercing and 17 of necrotic. So that's their... They still get their spells. Wow, these guys are really heavy on things I have to do.
We keep wasting our concentration spells. This fight like that?
Yeah,
a lot of
it's not on purpose.
No, I know.
I keep dying.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying both of us.
I know.
I've lost my haste. I've lost my horn. You've lost your sudden.
What, twice?
Because I died.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to roll a concentration check. I just died.
You just outright unconscious.
The first one
Oh, I have a +6.
goes to cast that Eldritch Blast spell again, and the first beam targets Eli, hits him and knocks him out of the sky. So he goes falling to the ground, and takes 1 death saving throw as he hits the ground.
No, Eli.
Dawn is still up, so the second blast will go to Dawn. Well, no, she's in melee range, so that would be at disadvantage. The second blast and third blast will go to Mara.
Aren't all of them at disadvantage if they're in melee with somebody?
No, just that they're melee with people trying to get in range.
So Mara, that's a natural 20 and a 22. So both of those will hit.
Well, good double 2.
So the natural 20 does 18 points of force damage, and the regular one does 9 points of force damage.
Are you okay?
27, so we're going 8 left. Barely.
Okay, Mara's hanging in there. The second one will shoot. They can't see Harmony with the edge. They will shoot at Hunter with all 3 locusts.
Okay.
So that is a 23,
Yep.
a 27,
Yep.
and a 10. So 2 hits.
This is what kind of damage?
Force. So that is 5 points of force damage
Okay.
and 9 points of force
So
damage.
14. And so that brings me to. Okay. Cool. Alright. Did they just move?
Can they climb up there?
It's only like 10 feet, so they're able to.
Does
climb up.
Dawn get a engineering spear weapon get up for the search?
Dawn does, and she will take a swing at one for sure.
Spirit weapon doesn't.
Spear weapon does not.
Curse not
And she just misses them.
No.
So Dawn takes a wild swing with her mace, but it only goes through the shadows that are swarming around. That is their turn. Hunter.
Okay. Bringing out the bow again, setting it down. Sharpshooter, scope, all the business. Is one of them look weaker than the other?
Yeah, the one that is closer to you.
To me? Alright. Can I shoot him from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 30 feet. So I think I'm
You'll
good.
just be able to use your scope.
Yeah, okay. Got a 18 to hit. Or 18 plus
Some stuff.
a lot. Some stuff. That's
That'll
good.
hit. That'll do it.
Okay. Oh, and I'm going to use my bowstring on this first
That'll
one.
certainly probably.
Certainly, probably. Okay, where is the bowstring card? It is here. I can't counterspell Eldritch Blast, can I?
Yeah. You
Oh, maybe I should. Sleep.
can. Okay. What kind of
15,
save?
DC 15 Wisdom?
I think these guys might actually.
Down
Advantage on saving throws. Magic can't put it to sleep, unfortunately.
Ah.
They have the Fey ancestry trait.
Alright, sure. Well, that's fine. We tried. That is 8.
I thought you said they were far removed from Fae.
It's still in their ancestry.
Still a human.
I mean, yeah, they're technically
So-
humanoids in the same way that regular ones.
First shot is 26.
Again.
26 magic piercing.
Okay.
Is he up
I'm
still?
not.
Let me do
What?
some math. Not sure.
He's down?
I don't. Just let me do my math. Need my calculator.
What are they?
He is down.
Okay, next one. That's a natural
I'm gonna
20.
move that one there.
I'm gonna roll crit against him. Crit damage. That's high damage. That's 19 plus 18. That's 37. How's he doing? Ready for another one?
I mean, yeah, he's still up.
How about a 17 plus some stuff?
That'll do it.
Okay. How about I missed the thing.
Wow.
Why would I use the thing?
That is 28. Third shot.
28 will do the trick. So as they begin to head towards Harmony, and you feel the dread because these things have knocked you down so
I
many
got
times.
you, Harmony. I
Um,
got you.
Hunter, you see his arrows protruding from their backs, one after another as they fall to the ground.
Nice.
The room is
Wow.
quiet. Let's stay in initiative for
Solid
just a
combat.
second because Eli is still.
I
Hey,
dashed
are these
Eli.
guys? These guys are not around.
Oh, they disappeared.
Yeah.
I dashed to
Oh
Eli
my
and I
God.
throw a good berry in his mouth.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he has to make a death save before you get a chance.
No, my turn comes up first.
I mean, I'm going through the cards here. No, it doesn't. He passes his death save.
He
Now
only
I run
had-
up and
he
I
has-
give him a good berry.
Okay, you drop down the 10 feet.
Yeah.
You can like lower yourself so you don't have to take any damage.
You're pretty short though.
Hey,
And Eli, as you force the berry down his throat, comes back to consciousness.
Okay,
Everyone
Oh my
is
goodness.
conscious, albeit very hurt.
I'm alright.
And the room now is.
Are Eli's wings still out?
Yeah, they're not a concentration, so they're still out for a minute. They're just kind of like, while he was unconscious, they were like flickering. But when he comes back to consciousness, the light kind of flares up back to life again. And then the chamber is quiet, except for the occasional
The librarians.
clicking of the librarians as they move across the stonework.
Okay.
Eli is still just laying on the ground. He kind of comes back to consciousness. Dawn will dispel her spiritual weapon, so that kind of the glowing mace kind of fades into the ether. And Eli turns to Harmony and says, "You got the memory, right? Or whatever it was?"
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
We need to get out of here.
That was really rough.
Can
I
you
don't know.
stand?
Yeah, and he kind of slowly gets to his feet. Yep, just barely. I don't want to do that again.
Me neither. But we're probably gonna have to. Can give him a ride.
Sure.
It's okay, I can walk.
In this tiny cat form.
And then Dawn strides up to Harmony and says, "Well then, let's see it." And what all the fuss was about.
We're getting out of here. Maybe we should go somewhere where we're not being watched first.
Right.
Is that
Yeah,
possible?
that'd be smart.
I don't know if it's possible or not.
Okay.
But we should probably go back to that first room with the little lake.
Alright. So I guess we'll head out.
Okay.
Go back to the other previous room.
So that we think you'd be the one to get this all on the line. I think we all should.
Alright, that's fine, but what you're gonna see when you see that is a secret.
Right, which is why I think we should all look at it so we don't have to talk about it.
That's fair.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Then we
Yeah.
don't have to tell each
Yeah.
other what we saw, we just will all see it and not talk about it.
But I'm just saying, just so you know, outside of this tent, this is a major secret. Anyway.
So you make your way back into the hallway that leads to the Library of Bones and Memories. And as you do so, you can just, as I don't know who it would be, but as one of you sort of looks back, you can see just in the edges of the light, the librarians are dragging the bodies of those elven creatures away. And that's just the last thing you see of them before you exit back into the room that is just piled with trinkets and furniture. And in the center there is obviously the pool of recollection, which you have experimented with before. And it's cool light. Light is kind of reflecting from these blue flame torches on the walls onto the pool, which is then playing across the ceiling in weird watery patterns.
Okay.
And as you come back into this room, the librarian, the custodian of this room, the marionette with the stuffed raven head, kind of boredly looks from his position where he's busy folding more paper hats and says, "Some of your hats seem to have been misplaced. If you wouldn't mind, the queen insists." So, and he like offers forth hats to those of you who have lost them.
You didn't seem to... I didn't see Alkeen wearing a hat.
Who?
The librarians don't have hats.
I'll take another hat.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't really listen to whatever I say, and it's fine. They don't have to. They're not really. It doesn't matter.
The birds don't have hats either.
You didn't see a vampire and 3 servers walk through here?
You know, I think I would have noticed if a vampire and 3. Sorry, what?
Servitors of some sort?
Servitors? No, I would have noticed if they come through here. Anyways, And so Thaddeus probably lost a hat when he leapt up to the tower.
Yeah.
Harmony definitely lost a hat when she fell over.
During one
I
of
think
those times,
Bianco lost it when he passed.
Yeah,
Probably.
so anyone who lost a hat gets a new folded paper hat.
I have my original one.
I'm gonna look around just to see if I can see if we're being watched.
This is it. The sovereign glue up there.
What?
That's what you want to use the sovereign glue on? Just like to see if anyone else is here watching you.
Oh my god,
Or
that's not a
listening.
bad idea
Roll
though.
a perception check.
Sovereign glue on the memory.
Oh yeah.
If Alkene can't take it from that chamber, he can never put it in the field.
I was
That
gonna
is true.
suggest we just destroy it. Once we all see it.
I don't know if we have a capable of that. But
13.
What are you looking for? Stuff.
To see if anybody's watching or listening.
You see a raven or two that you kind of disturb. They were perched on top of one of the piles, and you disturb that pile, and the stuff kind of starts to avalanche, and they fly out those network of caverns that you've seen.
So
But other than that, the cavern seems empty.
maybe seeing Harmony look around, I might have Bianco do his smelling thing
Do
again.
a sniff.
Yeah, take a sniff.
I'll go ahead and use the one sense.
Okay.
And we got a natural 20 and a natural 1.
Okay. Well, we'll take the natural 20.
Yeah.
Yakko smells the scent of ravens, but that doesn't really put him on edge, so he's just kind of sniffing the air. Yakko gives Secret a cautious sniff, but doesn't seem bothered by him. And other than that, nothing. And Divine Sense, similarly, does not reveal the presence of anything in the nearby area.
Okay, good.
I take memory out. Who wants to go first?
You can.
Can't
You-
we all just touch and see it at the same time?
Maybe.
You
Or
try
we
it.
all touch it.
And
So
we'll
we
go
do
into the
that?
water together.
Okay.
Are we letting Eli and Dom watch this too?
I mean, I trust them as much as I trust anything. So yeah.
I trust them too.
I mean, Eli doesn't insist, but Dawn is
Knowledge
like
is
reaching
power.
out to put her hand on.
Knowledge is power and it makes them a target.
That's true.
Wait, so are you gonna let me touch it, or
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're fine.
Alright, come on guys.
she puts her hand
This
on
way
it?
we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Remember, we don't talk about what we see here.
Right.
At all.
Eli hangs back as you're kind of
That's fine.
getting everyone to touch it, and he just kind of shakes his head at you. I'm not.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
keep
not
us
sure that I want that knowledge.
keep us safe, Eli,
Okay.
as we look into it.
We lower it down.
As you lower it down into the water, I need each of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
We get the aura.
You do have
Yes.
your arm.
So the aura is plus what?
Plus 4 at this point.
Does a 17 do it?
Oh my gosh. I got a 4.
26.
Plus the
You got an
aura.
8.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Math. Plus 4 plus 6. 22.
22. Okay, so everyone but Mara with the 4?
8.
8, okay. Everyone but Mara passes. Mara, you are overwhelmed by basically each of you experiences a surge of information just straight from this memory into your brain. And it is almost overwhelming, but you manage to, by force of will, make sense of it. Mara, on the other hand, your mind is overwhelmed and by what you see, and it's just colors and images, and none of it makes any sense.
For Mara.
Take 8 points of psychic damage.
Oh god.
What did you
Oh.
do?
Oh no, you're an
Yeah.
HP!
Oh
Okay, Eli's alive. Eli's alive, and
Yeah, Eli sees this happen while the rest of you are still zoned out in the memory.
that's
He
not the right
rushes
kind of
over-
sleep.
Rushes over.
Oh,
and
God.
does a cure wounds here
Oh my goodness.
for 8 points of.
so she just completed her
Oh my gosh, that was scary.
Oh my god.
Death by crystal thing. Wow, what a way to go.
I'm never using this one again.
The knowledge that nearly overwhelms the 3 of your minds, plus Dawn's, is indeed the knowledge of a ritual, and the various parts that are needed for it. But what you learn is that there are actually many different ways that this ritual could be completed, and you feel a inclination that the Raven Queen herself, whose memory this is, wanted to use one particular component for the ritual, which was sort of the she wanted to materialize and use the adoration of the people and the followers of her sisters, the other elven queens. But something in the ritual went wrong, and it ended up taking souls instead, another possible component. And that was the way that the ritual went wrong. But there are actually a number of things that could be substituted for that component. It could be the adoration of people, it could be physical souls, or it could be anything like the blood of an angel. There's just a variety of different things. And all of this information just berates your minds. And then it ceases, and you're standing again by the pool. It's not like a physical vision so much as it's just a transfer of information.
Okay.
And then you're standing by the edge of the pool holding the now dripping crystal skull, which is also reflecting the light from the torches.
Well, that's dangerous.
Now what do we do with this thing?
We need to destroy it. It's the only way we can prevent.
Okay, so how do we do that? Dawn says.
Don't know.
I think that we have a couple of options here. We find a way to destroy it, like you said. We find a way to keep Alkeen from getting his hands on it. Maybe that glue you mentioned?
What if we could glue it back in the hand of the Raven
But,
Queen?
I mean-
No one can take it from there, but I guess they could just break the
Break
hands
the
off.
hand off.
Yeah, I think there's probably ways they could do it still, so...
Yeah, that one seems risky to me. The other option I see is some of us take it and get away from here. Or we hold on to it because it's safer in our hands.
I agree with that.
Dangerous too.
It's dangerous, but think about this from Alkeen's perspective. He's put everything he has into trying to get it from us, and he failed. You think he's going to try again?
Well, he failed, but it wasn't him at his full power. That was just... It was just like a shadow. It wasn't
Some
him.
sort, yeah.
How would we even find out how to destroy it?
And
I remember
he
it
failed,
was-
but he almost succeeded. We almost all died in there.
That was pretty close.
But he didn't see that.
I'm sure he knows that.
Hmm.
He knows how close he got.
Could you ask your god to see if they have any guidance on this situation?
They're
The librarians.
We don't ask the librarian.
We've
Don't
already
care
paid
less.
more than we can afford for that.
Is there a way to send it into another dimension?
Pulls out the negative.
No, like to banish it somewhere. Somewhere where it's lost.
And that's not a spell. Eli speaks up at this point. He says, "That's not anything that I've learned how to do, but I mean, I've heard stories about powerful wizards and things who could travel planes to different lands and even different realities. Do you know any powerful wizards?"
We did.
That's still not solving the problem, really.
No.
It still exists in the world.
I think solving the problem takes the shape of killing Alkeen.
But he's not going to be the only one who wants to get his hands on this.
That's true.
We know that Alkeen is stuck in the Shadowfell to some extent. You said that Mandus told you that?
I think it must be true, or else why wouldn't he have come here?
Yeah.
So if we
that
get
must
it
be true.
So
a ways away, it should be safe, right?
Yeah, but what happens when he's not stuck in the Shadowfell anymore?
Well, maybe he's going to be stuck until he... Because he had his
Isn't
minions
that-
retreated to him, right? Maybe that was his gateway out. So unless
Was
we
it?
bring it to him, then he's probably going to stay in there.
But Harmony, if we can get some rest, and I don't know where we're going to do that, if we can get some rest, you can take us anywhere in the world, and he'll have no idea where to start looking.
That's true. But it would take a day. I wouldn't be able to come back right away.
This is also true. But I think... I don't know.
I might have an idea.
Okay. It's here.
Give it to the dragon turtle. Put it as treasure hoard.
We can ask Cial. They might know. Their knowledge of magic is so much better than mine. They might
Certainly
know.
one of the most powerful.
And I feel like they probably could find a place to hide it at least.
It's not a bad idea.
They have
You
their
can see
house.
that Eli and Dawn are both, they're kind of exchanging like quizzical looks, like, is this?
A friend of ours.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, how can we find this friend? Are they nearby? Dawn asks.
I could send them a message. I haven't used my ruby today, have I?
I don't
Did
think
you
so.
use it?
I don't think yeah.
No,
I think we left
didn't
immediately.
use it today.
I could use my ruby and I could send them a message.
Let's get used to it.
I think we can start there. Now I think we need to find a safe place to rest and recover.
Yeah.
Where in this town would that be, though?
Well, yeah, that's the question, because the safest place we know is the nexus under the
I don't want to bring the
sewers.
skull there.
The last time we were there, right, we brought danger to the people there.
I mean, anywhere here is going to be dangerous, I think. But we were still able to rest there. That one night.
I wouldn't want to do it.
Maybe we could rest.
Well, they
What
were
about the
planning to
safe
leave
house?
anyway.
Do you think that's been compromised?
I mean, that means we still have to get out, right?
We could go through the sewers to get to the safe house.
But what if we encounter something in the sewers? I mean, the
What
safest
if
thing to do is to...
It's
I know,
safer
but
to
I'm-
encounter something in the sewers than it is to encounter those
Well,
dragon things in the streets.
my point is that maybe the safest thing to do is to not go other places and stay here. Or something.
Dawn then speaks up and says, "But wait, hold on. We know that the Medusa, I can't remember her name, reports. Oh, right, that's right, Ixlati. We know that she reports to Alkeen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he can move her in the city wherever he wants, right? So if we stay and rest here, won't they just set an ambush right outside the gates of the
That's possible.
Exactly.
temple? We'll be sitting ducks.
If he could reach us in the sepulchre, I think he can reach us anywhere.
Maybe we need to leave Ravenloft
That's possible too.
for the night.
So,
How close to the edge of town are we?
We could go
I
to
guess you guys would do
we
that.
could go to the Ettercap cave that
I
we
was just
sent
gonna say that,
the
yeah.
kids to.
Yeah, that might
But
be.
that's still bringing the memory to them.
But
But
it's
nobody
bringing the
knows.
memory outside of the sphere of influence of the Shadowfell, which I think is where it needs to be.
Yeah, I think that sounds.
When I literally give you, I'm looking at Dawn.
Oh,
I'm not looking
I mean,
for
that's what I
the
figured.
GM's assent in any of this.
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense now.
Eli pipes up though and says, "Well, I mean, we know that the Shadowfell's influence was reaching as far as Northwood, but that doesn't mean that it covers the entire forest. I guess there's a chance that this area outside of the city might not be under Alkeen's influence. It's worth a shot."
Yeah, that's where we sent
So
the
you-
orphans anyway. We can
yeah.
check back in with them.
Yeah.
Well, the
Well, the
orphans
orphans
and the
were-
refugees.
They were waiting for. Ooh, there's a spider in my water. It's probably because we were talking about Ettercaps. I'm just a little guy.
That's interesting.
What
How's my water doing?
was I saying? Before I
know.
lost all
Good
my
question.
focus.
I might go to the same house.
We were saying that they were waiting for something, right?
Right. The orphans were waiting for a signal from you guys that it was safe to move to that location, so they'd still be in the sewers.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we should go back to them, obviously.
We could still scout ahead.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's spend a night at the Ettercap cave. Make sure it's safe. And if nothing disturbs us in the night, then we know it's safe to go back to the orphans and help.
Okay.
Do
I
that.
would at least like.
I think, also, by the way, while this is happening, that is casting Aura Vitality again, so we can
Oh,
get some healing more.
Sounds good. Yeah.
I would at least
so-
like to take a short rest here to get a little bit of a second wind before we head out again. Do we have time to do that? Are we already essentially doing that? Or
Yeah, I mean, while you're having this discussion.
okay, so I'm gonna
We're taking a short rest.
yes.
Please.
I desperately need it along with everyone else I think.
Me too.
We're gonna give you all some vitality for us.
You can
Wait,
get
so Aura Vitality is on yourself.
No, it's on everybody on 30 minutes.
Right, but is this the one that you pick one person?
No, I can do it to whoever I want on every bonus action within 1 minute.
Multiple person
So I get, like,
at a time? Or
10
just each 6 seconds you're picking a different
Each 6
person?
seconds.
So my question is, are you doing it all on yourself or
No, like I'm fine.
you want to just tell us the pool and we
Yeah,
can distribute it?
before we start rolling our hit dice?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, great, perfect.
I'm like rolling because I don't want to just give you a rule, but I'll say like I've got this once.
Okay.
So I've rolled 7 times.
Guess what? Eli just rolled on his
One.
last remaining hit dice. No, an 8 out of 8.
Rather than a 3 or 4 ones in a row or whatever.
Yep.
That was really funny.
I also just noticed
That's really good.
a note that I
Yeah.
missed.
May I borrow
Who's
the
the worst off?
I have 8.
She is.
these two?
I'm at 32.
Eli
Okay,
has
you
10.
can do it.
I
Eli
have
has 10. Eli, okay, Mara take 22.
16.
Harmony take 20.
Thank you.
Eli can take, let's call that 15.
Okay, so now you can roll hit dice.
I've got 4 more shots left.
4 more what?
4 more healing bits of this. Who needs 10 more maybe?
I'm at 30. What are you at? I'm at 52.
Alright, so take 10 more. And then Eli takes 8, and then Dawn can have 5.
Okay.
How bad was Dawn?
She was at 21 after spending tries.
After spending hit dice?
Yep.
Oh.
I should have. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, a 6. Don't forget to add your constitution modifier to it.
Which is 0.
Which is
Yeah,
0.
0.
Forget that.
Actually,
Oh,
if
that's
Dawn's
good.
at that, I think that is going to spend some lay on hands.
Sounds good.
Okay, she's at 26.
And if I make her.
What's her max?
59.
Okay. Yeah, she can have 30.
Okay. There.
17.
Wow, I rolled like 2 6s and a 5.
Gosh darn it, I just noticed a note that said Eli was death warded.
That's
Forgot about that.
Oh, so
right,
What
he
does that mean?
was.
Does that mean he doesn't?
Yeah,
get
when he would have fallen to 0, he would have just fallen to 1 instead.
It didn't really.
How long
matter,
does that
though.
last? Because we can just like keep
It's
it
like
up, I
8
guess.
hours.
So we can just keep it up.
I'm not going to erase the note.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm in good shape.
Oh yeah, 2 8s.
Um,
20.
I
That's
wish
good.
I got spell slots back over a short rest.
Me too. Alright, I'm good. 11.
Do you want your D4 back,
No.
Ethan?
you can hold on to him for a second.
Yeah, that's right. And then Yako use.
So you've got, I think you should have 14 to level 14. So up to 14, but when you have a long rest, you only recover half of your maximum. So you can only recover up to 7 per long rest, even though you have a maximum of 14%. Okay, so if you spend that, you'll be at a deficit minutes. I didn't use how much food once.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity.
I know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know why. No, because I was saving my reactions for other things.
For what things?
Counterspell,
Oh, okay.
which I was never given an opportunity.
You
I
could
forgot
have
again.
Eldritch Blast. That's why I was asking too, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was unconscious for that.
If we did Eldritch Blast, would I have done all of them or just one of the
I
casts?
would have canceled all of them.
But I was unconscious.
That's true. Why did I do that? I guess I didn't really have charges left though.
It's okay. We
So
survived.
is everyone all taken care of for the short rest?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Got my child divinity back.
Then you kind of gather up by the ladder, which leads up to the secret room behind the altar of the Temple of the Raven Queen. And you kind of ascend up that and make your way back out, closing the secret door behind you, and find yourselves again in that long hallway with sort of mausoleums and things on either side behind these iron barred gates.
And Matthew.
Yeah, you hear a voice from the far end of the chamber. Oh, Sir Thaddeus, Hammerlock, and friends, is that you?
Yes. Yes, we're back. We're back. We've taken care of our business here.
Excellent. The light that was given to me has gone out. I've been sitting in the darkness. Hold on, I'm coming to you. And you hear like shuffling, and then a smack as something hits a pillar, and then a cry of pain, and then more
Can
shuffling.
I like run up to him and like guide him since I have dark vision?
Oh, thank you, young child.
You're welcome.
You can't really see a thing. He's
His
like,
name was Matthew.
I can't
think
remember
so.
what we named him.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
I think he has my name.
it was probably Matthew.
Yeah, I'll say we're headed toward where we hope is safety. If you want to come with us.
I'd absolutely love to, of course. Anywhere that's not here.
All right. Well, stay behind us, and we'll try to keep.
I
it
remember the
safe.
important NPCs.
Yeah, Matthew's definitely one of the most important NPCs ever.
I was gonna say today so far on day.
So,
Counting on him to do great things, like light a torch.
okay.
So how far from here to the end of town?
I
guess
Well,
the
we're
other
on the
edge of
southwest,
town,
right?
It's not far.
Oh yeah, but we're in the corner, so yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of in a corner of the town. There are only really 4 main gates out of the town, one on each of the main cardinal directions. So you'd probably have to go. Let me get my map of it.
Whichever gate's in the direction of the
Probably south.
Well, the Ettercap cave is to the north,
That's
but you, I believe, are currently in the south.
southwest.
Oh, that's right. My map is in my. Let's see.
Can you summon Moonlight Sparkle?
Moonlight Sparkle's already coming.
Oh, you can't like get her here though.
I mean, Thaddeus concentrates for a second. Said Moonlight Sparkle meet us at the north gate.
Your range of communication with Moonlight Sparkle is like a mile, right? Yeah. So you don't feel any connection whatsoever to Moonlight Sparkle, right?
She is waiting back at the tower.
Moonlight Sparkle is on the far eastern side of town, whereas you were on the southwestern. Yeah, actually, I was wrong. The Ettercaps are in the southwest, so you could just
Oh, they
head
are?
towards
Oh.
either the yeah, you could head towards either the west exit or the south exit.
Which one's
of the
closer
city.
to us?
Probably the west exit.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to stealth or do you want to run?
That will put you pretty close to the noble quarter of the city, which you do know is where Queen Ixlati takes her rest. But it is midday at this point, so I think she'd probably be by the pyramid instead.
Yeah, do we stealth or do you just make a dash for it?
Dawn kind
Yes, yeah,
of
I'm
clanks
all
her
about
plates and she
Yeah.
says, "Well, I mean, I'll try and stealth, but
Is there a way we can go through the sewers to get there?
potentially, but I don't know who among you would know the way there. So you'd have to attempt like survival checks."
Yeah, first we'd have to get back to the entrance that we know about.
That's true. Alright, well, I think we should stealth.
Okay.
We can try.
I can make.
Ready to roll at disadvantage.
Yeah, we're all Dawn
Dawn's
too.
at
Like,
Me
who,
too.
who has disadvantage? 3 people?
3 of us.
Okay, well, I can only make 2 people invisible.
Who is? Unless someone wants to take their plate mail off.
Uh,
It's 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, don't take the plate off.
and then if something happens,
Yeah.
Dawn would be vulnerable.
Yeah.
She would have an AC
What's your
of
bonus
9.
to stealth?
My natural bonus, 0.
0.
So I rolled 8.
For what?
Stealth bonus.
-1.
So you 2 get invisibility.
Okay,
Great.
cool. Let me get some better music than this. We're on.
So I'm only rolling.
Fast as the paper hat.
Yeah, so you 2 don't have you have a disadvantage, but that's it.
Okay.
And we're just normal.
And then Matthew is also.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Cool.
Please pass, Matthew. One job. One job.
Do we have to? Did you roll stealth?
Oh,
No.
Dawn rolled a
Oh.
16.
What did you
Thanks for the invisibility.
Well,
It's okay, look at
I mean-
mine.
Honestly, thank you.
no, I didn't do much better.
Y'all.
Oh,
that's 20! Hopefully that balances all the
Oh
rolls
wow.
out. Actually, I can use Tides of Chaos.
Sure.
I need
That's
some
a
Tides of
yes.
Chaos.
Oh yes.
Maybe it's like a cumulative thing.
Don't forget to roll for Byakko as well.
Oh yeah. Come on, Byakko. Come on.
Even worse. Alright, we're sticking with
Good job, Byakko. Byakko got a 31.
Jesus, as if I needed it.
31, and then what did Hunter get?
Hunter got a 5.
5, and then Mara.
Natural 20.
So with
Chad's
your
up to-
bonuses.
Eli also rolled a natural 20, by the way.
What?
We need that so bad. It's right here.
Oh, 24.
The one dex thing you're not proficient
Okay. Harmony,
9.
even with Tides of Chaos?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
Thaddeus?
Oh, these numbers.
2. Okay. Let me count these in. 1, 2,
I rolled a 7 and a traveling circus.
This is real swingy. We got some good ones and we got some.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
two extremes right now.
What about my boots?
Wait, do you
Did
use
you roll
your
with
boots?
advantage? Well, I guess.
You don't need
I
to.
know it's funny, so it doesn't
Yeah, I would love to borrow those boots right now.
matter.
We both need them.
I already wear boots.
I hope the
Oh, yeah.
invisibility helped Dawn, though, at least.
No, it did. She rolled a 16. because of
Okay.
it.
Oh, good.
I just need to look up a passive perception here.
Is it like 3?
I don't guess this guy would have helped.
I mean, I think we all
There we go.
close.
They have to look up the passive perception of the eyes in the sky. And then I will determine how many of you beat it. Perception is...
This is the worst
12.
weight ever.
No, I'm sorry.
This is
What
bad.
did Matthew get?
That's just killing
Did
me.
he do well?
Matthew rolled a 6.
God dang it.
Oh,
man, what job?
So what we have is a split pass-fail ratio, and I'm not quite sure what to do about it. Because Dawn and Eli both succeeded, and then Matthew failed, and then
I failed.
Hunter
Byakko passed.
Thaddeus both failed. So I think I'll lean in your favor because I've already beat on you guys enough tonight. So you managed to make your way to the west gate of the city, but you find that it's closed. But you haven't been caught, and you're kind of like keeping to alleys to keep out of the eye of the dragons that you can see circling above.
Are there people on the towers keeping watch?
There are, in fact, 2 serpentine, you can see from down here, 2 serpentine-looking heads of large snake creatures watching from either side of the gate. They seem to be actually training their eyes inward instead of outward.
Right.
That makes sense.
Well, I could use telekinesis to open the gate. What?
Oh, we're not there yet.
What do you mean we're not there yet?
I can't pick it up.
It's a giant gate.
It's a portcullis,
Yeah, it's like a large portcullis, and
It's
the
not
bars
the
are maybe
door.
like
It's like a.
Oh.
We're just having to lift it. Or if you guys think you can take those guards out before they notice we're here, like a sneak attack.
I think that'd be not as bad. I can't really help you with that because they're up on top of the towers. So
Alright.
you're really up
It would be up to
to
you
you
guys.
3.
You could shoot them with your arrows. Try to take them out before
So-
they notice we're down here.
With Skulker, even if I miss, they don't know my position.
right.
So
With your weapon 5 stealth.
I can reroll stealth, I think, right? If we're shooting him or whatever. Or do you want me to keep that roll?
No, you keep that roll.
Okay.
For now, anyways.
Or we can just, I don't know, I can just lift the gate and run for it.
We'd have dragon pumps, I think, if you don't take out those guards.
That's true.
Let's see. Can you
But if we don't take out the guards immediately, we can have dragon pumps.
can you reposition the guards somehow?
Like banish them?
Yes.
Well, hold on.
Can Eli vanish them?
Eli's not high enough to know the spell damage.
I have enough sorcery points to make myself a 5th level spell slot, so I could cast banishment at a 5th level and banish both of them at once. But then my wild magic is gonna go off.
Look, Dawn speaks up and says, look, if it gets us out of here, it doesn't matter if you're wild magic
But then I'm completely out of sorcery points too, so we have to
We're heading
save.
for a rescue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can do that.
I
if you
think
want.
I think that sounds like a
that sounds like the best option.
Okay.
And then, so our plan is banish both of them. I'm gonna.
telekinesis the door, the gate up.
If one of them doesn't get banished,
Eli speaks up and he says, I'm just learning the beginnings of spell casting, but that won't be a problem in terms of like what you can concentrate on, right?
Right, because my telekinesis isn't concentration.
banishment though.
Banishment is.
I'm pretty sure telekinesis is. That's why I'm asking.
From the ring.
From the ring?
Yeah, it's still you
Yeah.
cast the spell. From
Is the ring attunement? You can give the ring to someone else. They can do it, right?
It is attunement. I don't think you've ever forced concentration on telekinesis on me before.
Well, it is supposed to be. It's possible that I've just forgotten the entire time.
Okay. So, well, hang on. That's not terrible. That's not bad, right? Because then we can just climb the tower and drop down with a rope,
But
right?
Eli
That's true,
also
I don't
offers. I can let someone fly.
Well,
I know a
actually,
spell
you
to
can
help
let
other
people
people
fly
fly.
too.
I can take over.
You can have heavy people too.
Two.
And he can jump really
So we got jumping, one flying.
Once I banish
I
him,
can fly.
we only have a minute until, and that's if they both fail their saving.
So really, you and Dom can fly. You can. No
He
wait.
can jump with me,
And then Biako can jump down. I think.
or you could
What's-
carry me.
Yeah, or I can carry somebody. Yeah, so we have enough flight that we can probably get up mostly safely. I think.
Someone's gonna have to carry Matthew, but he's light and old.
I'll carry him. I carry the other.
I feel like
other
all the
guys,
flyers could carry one person.
Yep.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Probably not Eli. He's probably too weak.
But he can. He can't fly.
You could probably
He
carry
just
me.
can fly.
I'm
He
tiny.
can help one person
Okay.
fly. He can't himself use.
You
his
can also
angel
just
wings.
polymorph someone that can
Oh,
fly.
he can't use his angel.
I guess no, we don't love banners if you're gonna banish. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
I can.
banish and then fly.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay.
For my jumping situation, what am I gonna have to do to get over this gate?
The walls are maybe like 20 feet high or so. So you can probably jump up to the ramparts and then you'll have to climb up the last little bit.
Okay.
so
So get him on back, I guess.
if we don't banish someone, do you want me to just open fire and try and take them out?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll get ready
Everyone
to
holds
fire
your
a
actions
volley
to
at him.
like take them out
Yeah.
if it doesn't work.
Alright,
That's you and me.
that is holding him in beam.
Okay. Yeah, Eli and Dawn both begin to cast spells as well. Then what is the save for your banishment?
Let's see.
Charisma?
I believe.
Okay, this is a good plan.
It's definitely
I hope this is a good plan.
It's definitely.
I'm pretty sure it'll work. Matthew thinks it'll work.
Charisma.
Okay. There's a 17 and a 8.
Fail.
So as Harmony's beams shoot out from her staff and collide with the chests of these serpentine creatures, you see them kind of get woozy for a second and then just vanish.
Alright, go,
Okay.
go, go,
Go,
go,
go, go, go.
I'm gonna make my wild magic go off.
Alright.
That wasn't part of the plan already.
I warned you.
That wasn't part of the plan.
That was.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Come on, wild magic.
Oh, please don't wild magic, not today. Please be like.
These are actually both really good.
Yeah, you
You guys,
are.
don't worry about it. I think we're gonna go with 54.
54? Let's take a look.
No, 94. Sorry,
Oh,
I changed my mind. I want to go with 94.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you cast your spell and then you feel a strange sensation in your brain. You're not quite sure what exactly that implications that has at the moment, but I'm sure you'll find out eventually. And then Eli casts, I guess, his fly spell on himself.
Okay.
So he begins to take off. Dawn is kind of looking around like, okay, who's got
You
me?
take Dom.
Okay, I'll take Dawn.
Okay.
I'll jump on Hunter.
And
I get
then,
Matthew.
I guess, unless you want to take Dawn,
Go.
No, I'll take Dawn.
Okay, wait, how high is the drop for this?
like 20 feet.
Can Biako.
I like the
I
idea
got
He
it.
has a
of
climb.
Harmony just
Biako's
being
on
like,
climb
"You got
speed,
Dom,
so
right?"
Climb up the
okay, so Biako's fine, right? Okay.
So how does Thaddeus pick up Dawn?
I mean, he needs his hand free to climb, so she's got to just like get on his back.
Okay, yeah, she just kind of like awkwardly
Yeah.
puts her arms around you and
It's a good thing I'm not encumbered.
yeah, she kind of like looks at the rest of the group and you can see that she's got a little bit of a blush going on. But then she hides she buries her face in Thaddeus' shoulders and says, "Alright, let's go."
Alright, and Thaddeus gets a running start and jumps.
Okay, and you can catch on to the top, and then I need a strength check to pull up.
Cool.
Oh no!
So Thaddeus has a modifier of 4, so that's a 5.
Okay. Yeah, you grab onto the top, but you grab a loose part and it comes a little bit loose, and you end up falling down maybe like 10 feet of the way, and then you catch yourself on another brick, banging your head a little bit as you go, taking 1 point of bludgeoning damage. And then you're in a position to then climb up the rest of the way. The check will just be a little bit harder, but you can make another check.
Alright.
Oh no.
That's
better roll.
18.
18, yep. This
Oh,
time
God.
you manage to hoist the both of you up onto the other side.
Nerves.
Dawn, when you started to fall, let out a little bit of a squeak, but then like a sigh of relief when you caught yourself. And now the two of you are on top of the ramparts. And
Alright.
you can see that there's two creatures. They have almost human-like bodies, but they're covered in scales entirely, and their heads come up into like cobra heads. And then the lower half of their body is just like this massive, thick serpent. So they're almost entirely serpent, except for that they have arms. And you can see that. Oh no, they were banished.
They were banished.
I was like,
That's
why
next.
are you doing
Yeah,
more
that's
and more?
No. For some reason, my brain was saying you put them to sleep.
No.
Okay.
I banished them. I don't have sleep.
You don't see anything.
Alright, then I just
Oh, phew, I was like, there's
I know.
more.
I was like, what?
Oh no.
What?
jump down.
Yep. Okay.
Oh god.
It's like 20 feet. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you land, jarring your knees a little bit, but then Dawn kind of gets off your back. Well, that was exhilarating.
One hope for better at the start. Sorry about the rocky liftoff.
Look, don't worry about it. I would have been stuck on the other side without you. And then Eli alights next to the two of them. Mara, you're just flying over with Matthew in hand. Hunter's flying over with Harmony.
Do you like sap potatoes?
That's something with Harmony. I'm just kidding. You always get the.
Matthew.
the
Am I like
shoulder
on your shoulders?
seat. Yeah, you always get the shoulder seat. Yeah.
Matthew found my rat. and
Matthew's
it's
like,
my rat.
This is very exciting. I hope my heart doesn't give out. I have some heart problems.
Once we all make it over to the other side, I'm like, we need to really move because they're gonna come back any
Let's go.
second
Yeah, no
now.
more still. Let's go.
And off we go.
Into the trees.
Yep, straight into the forest tree line, and you make your way in roughly the direction that you recall. Why doesn't one of you go ahead and make who has been there before?
Well, so I can't
Can
get
we do
lost, though,
one-
right?
And it,
That's right,
Just
because
because
you're
we
ranger.
lost. Yeah, so I should know where we are.
You're good. Yeah.
yes.
Remembering your pathways from before,
Remembering my training.
Yes.
We move forward, yeah.
you make your way through the forest.
Radar dish comes out.
As you get close to where you remember the lair being,
Yeah.
you remember there were all these like spider webs and things up in the trees.
I was a potted plant for half of this trip, so I don't really remember the way anyway.
Once we got to the mouth of the cave, you turned to a potted plant.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. So we got to the anyways.
Sorry.
There's still a lot of webs in the trees, but you don't see any spiders wriggling in them or anything like that.
Okay.
It looks as if most of these webs have been abandoned, and you make your way to the clearing, which housed the Ettercap, or not the Ettercap, yeah, it was the Ettercaps that had taken over a UNT temple, which is basically this marble serpent face that rears up out of the ground. And then you can see that there's a tunnel descending downwards into the throat of the serpent.
Yep.
The two of you who haven't been here before, that's what you see.
That is like, this is the safe place where we're sleeping.
Sure.
Should we,
I still have the map of this.
I do too, actually.
should you send your snake forward inside the scout out the place? I can do that. Your little chocolate pecker float on. And then
Here's the map.
make sure that it isn't full of UNT. The spider in its bar was a precursor. Well, we were talking about other caps at the time.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right. And there's like a large tree. Just it looks like it's hundreds of years old, growing up out of the top of this serpent's head. I forgot about that. And it's just covered with webs, but again, none of them look lived in, for the most part. So you're sending in the serpent.
How far
the
in
serpent.
can it go? It says 60 feet.
I'm sorry, just. I mean, Yako and I can go.
You don't have the beast sense ability, though, do you?
The what?
Beast sense spell.
What's that? Oh, well, you can see through.
Yeah.
Do we need it? We just go in together?
Well, like if we were gonna send an animal in to scout ahead before we actually go into there to make sure there are no Yuan-Ti, but like,
Okay.
what I like kneel down next to Byakko, I like scritch his ears. I'm like, you're a good tiger, Byakko. You're a good tiger.
I think it's more than 60 feet because I have to be within 60 feet to command it.
Exactly. But if it goes beyond 60 feet, it turns back into a bracelet.
Okay.
It says it back.
Harmony, as you scratch
Who's
Byako's
a good spirit tiger?
cheeks, he says, "Ooh, that feels good."
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, does he actually say that?
To me.
The rest of you hear a purring sound. But Byakko to Harmony says, "Ooh, that feels excellent."
Can you speak words?
Apparently to you, a little.
Wait, what? What language are they speaking?
You just hear like meowing sounds.
How come I can't speak to my tiger?
Harmony is speaking common to the tiger, but the tiger seems to be responding to her with like low growls and purrs and things like that.
Oh,
Have you always been able to speak with me?
What?
no.
Oh, the woman.
I would have been a little bit upset if you had waited this long to communicate.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna talk to you every day now.
Even the
Hunters.
the chosen of my master does not understand me.
I know. Maybe someday he will. Give him time.
That would be excellent.
I'm so sorry about the sewers. Do you remember that?
Indeed, I do.
I'm sorry. I tried
The
to
first
get out
of
the water.
the first of my 9 lives.
Like
I've-
scratching it.
Ooh. That's good.
Yako, I have
Yako is purring like crazy. as
Oh,
she
wait,
scratches
is this
his
really the time?
I have an important job for you.
Harmony, as Hunter says, is this really the time? And the rest of your companions are reacting to this. What you hear is basically womp 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 womp.
So she can't hear us. Can you just repeat?
I don't know.
Wait a second. What?
Ethan,
You can't hear her say that.
did she talk to Pinky?
Uh,
Does Pinky's ears perk up?
Yeah, I mean, Pinky comes and sort of stands up on Mara's shoulders, and when he does so, Harmony, you hear in a squeaky high voice, "Hey! Hey! Why are you giving him all the attention? Hey! Over here! Scratch me! Oh, and food! You have any food?" And you hear Byakko kind of growl over at Pinky, but you hear, "Oh, just shut up! Look, this one is never satisfied with the amount of food that the other woman
I
gives him."
had if he's good or bad now. You're so unsure.
Don't understand me.
And when Byakko starts complaining about Pinky to you, Pinky's like, "Hey, shut up! She was about to give me food. If you start saying things like that about me, she's just not gonna give me anything."
Oh my god.
And you just can hear the squeaking of Pinky.
What are you doing, Harmony?
Though, Mara, you can hear in your head this subtle like food, 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 more, food, food, food.
I'm gonna say to Byakko, come, I have an important mission for you. And I look at Pinky and I'm like, you just wait a minute.
No, man.
Just hang on.
Pinky like goes back down onto 4 paws.
And I
Oh my god.
and
I
look
think
at
Daddy's just only whispers from what's happening.
To me? Or
I
to
have
Dawn.
food,
Dawn,
so I
okay.
can't feed
And she says, I have no idea, but I'm getting the impression that Harmony can't understand what we're saying.
She's gonna lose it pretty
I'm gonna,
soon,
like-
guys.
I'm gonna like message Harmony and be like, what are you doing?
You hear in your mind, wah, 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 wah.
I like look at Hunter like, what's wrong with you?
What does she actually say in common?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Why are you making fun of me?
And I'm like,
Maybe we can write her a message.
maybe. As you hear us talking.
Anybody have any parchment?
Yeah. Yeah.
Byakko
Anyway.
is awaiting this urgent mission. Like,
Yeah.
you see that he has puffed up
I've
his
been trying to
chest.
give him this mission and people
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
distracting. Okay,
What
Byakko.
would you have me, my lady?
You're such a good tiger. Okay, I need you to go inside this cave and be really stealthy. See if there's anyone in there. Don't go too far. Just sniff it out a bit and then come back and report.
Of course. And then it kind of looks up to Hunter. Hunter, you can sort of intuit that it's looking for confirmation. You've heard what Harmony has told it to do.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, yeah. I'll nod at him.
It puts its head down and begins to creep forward into the cave. So roll a stealth check for
Okay.
Byakko.
That's 20.
Yeah, okay. Byakko creeps down into the cave and is gone for maybe 5-10 minutes or so.
Sure.
Before you see first its eyes in the darkness creeping back out. And it kind of rubs up against you and gives like a little bit of a nod. And then to Harmony, it says, "The way seems clear. There seem to be no creatures that are a threat to any as powerful as we."
Great. Thank you so much.
Of
I'm going to make
course.
sure you get all the snacks and I give him another scratch.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
Oh,
I love
Uh,
so nice.
were any of you going to try writing something?
Yeah,
Because you
honorable
have 10 minutes.
gentleman.
I think while Byakko was gone, we would try and communicate with Harmony, our friend. Harmony.
Harmony, how are you gonna be weird?
So, I guess technically, looking at the wild magic results, it says you can't communicate with human language, but I messed that up. So we're just going to say you're speaking common. But when you see the thing that Mara wrote out, it just looks like alien symbols to you.
So I can't understand them and I can't read, but I can still speak common.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm going.
It was
Oh
it was
my
supposed to
God.
be the opposite.
You're supposed to not be able to communicate with human language at all.
Right.
Great.
Right. Okay. It
Okay.
was cool. So
This is the wild magic you
I mean, it's okay retconning that, because like it's not
That's
like
fine.
any of us has said anything useful to Harmony.
That's fine.
that's true.
That's true. So yeah, I mean, when
But I've been saying a lot to you guys. That's the thing.
So you're like, meow.
so you wouldn't have known why I sent Byakko into the
Yeah.
cave.
Yeah, I should do that. How do you think she directed you to answer?
Was
You need to learn how to do that.
Byakko belong to me or you?
why don't I have the harmony music going?
And my mouse went to
I'm
her.
like,
My
I like
rat
how
went to
I'm like, are you mine or hers?
It's a good thing.
Like
Like,
she's gonna feed my rat. She doesn't even like my rat.
you ran my Pegasus.
Meanwhile, I'm like talking to Becky. Like, why are you always hungry, dude? I see all the food she gives you.
It's not enough.
Why? Are you like a bottomless pit?
Haven't you seen my brain?
Yeah.
Really smart. Being smart takes food, right?
That's not entirely true.
Yeah.
Being alive takes food.
Well, yeah, and you need food to be smart, right? So, I mean, if I'm alive and I'm smart, you know,
I don't think you're as smart as you
no,
think
the logic
you
is
are.
solid. I need more food, please. Look, I said please. Come on,
Okay, you know what?
just a
You-
little snack.
You gotta ask Mara for food because she's your master.
Yeah,
not
Pinky
me.
looks up at you and is
Alright.
squeaking, but basically, Harmony, you can hear him just be like, "Come on, food."
Oh, I hear
And
that.
Mara, in your head, you hear food.
Okay.
Food.
You can come back here.
No, I didn't take him from you. He's still on your shoulder.
Okay.
And Byakko kind of rolls his eyes and says to you, "She enables him, you know.
Yeah, I know. I know.
He'll never learn proper manners at this rate."
I think
I'm so glad you
I
have
think we're
problems.
exhausted right
Is
now.
Gecko back?
Yeah, Byakko returned
Alright.
and basically reported to Harmony.
That is just going inside.
I'm
That's
also
very
going
nice.
inside.
It's like it's safe inside, you guys.
You can't, and then you're like squeak.
No, am I just like
We just go pass out.
Yeah, I mean, you'd sound like various forest animals, I guess.
like,
Nothing happened to Byakko while Byakko was inside, so I think we can go in.
Alright.
I mean, Byakko kind of gave you the affirmative
yeah,
nod.
and so I'm like, it's fine.
So.
Do we want to start firing something I'm starting to? Do
Yeah, it's get comfortable.
It's been a long day.
you want to
this
cook us
is-
some of your wonderful food?
Give it a try.
Tasteless, wonderful food.
Oh, I don't have that spell. I don't know. I think
I can go get something,
I didn't go.
unless it's all zombified or alkene.
So when you
Oh,
descend
yeah, she
down
doesn't
into the temple,
understand.
the two of you haven't been here before.
Starry-eyed.
There's an initial room which you come into, which
not
has a series of statues. They start out on one end with being very like human-like in shape. There's a male and a female, and then as they converge towards each other in a line of statues, the statues gradually get more and more snake-like features. And then there's a door set into the back wall, and also a lever on one of the walls. And then that seems to go into a winding tunnel.
Like that.
I'm seeing this map here. It's a good one.
It's a map
So how far in do you want to go? All the way to the back?
Is there like a room that we used last time
It's
to
actually a
rest
really
in?
good tunnel. Yeah, there was a little offshoot room,
Yeah, we went,
which
this
you
is-
managed to barricade.
That's where Nasria whirlwinded a spider nest when you were getting choked.
I think the only thing I want from this place is to go somewhere where if we made a fire, it can be seen from the outside. So an inner room or like around that tunnel or something.
Yeah.
Is,
That's fine.
Like, as you went down the tunnel, there are rooms on the right side and the left side, they kind of alternate.
Mhm.
And there was one of them, I think 3 down, that was largely empty, which
Yeah.
is where you barricaded yourselves in before.
I think it was
Let's-
the second
let's go to
one,
that
but
one.
yeah, that
Yeah.
one we can go to.
The only
Okay.
entrances to that room were the
little
main
tunnels.
one, and then there were little tunnels in the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
which the Ettercats used to crawl around, and one of them ambushed Harmony, pulling her up in a noose to the ceiling at one
For like
point.
the second time.
So you'd say it's the most defendable
Yep.
room? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
We've used it before. We're
Is there
return
anything I
visitors.
can use to block the door?
Yeah, I mean, there's rubble and stuff all throughout the hallway, so you could just with telekinesis pull that and
Yeah.
pretty much block yourselves in.
I'll do that.
Anything wooden that can make us furniture?
Yeah, any
More comfortable.
wood that would have been here is long since eroded and gone.
Okay.
But yeah, you find yourselves in this tiny, I think it's like 20 foot by 30 foot-ish room.
Let's go.
Yep, there's the dimensions, 20 by 30.
Send a message to CO if I can't see her.
Player tag. Oh no! Can someone else do it?
Hunter can send a message.
Yeah, I can do it.
The gem isn't like an attuned gem.
No, but I mean any of
Does
you
someone
know
else do it?
CL.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone here can send a message to CL.
This is ironic.
This is
Considering I've been wanting to use this, I made this so that I could send a message to CL,
And
and then
now
when we finally contact
And now
her,
there's
I
the
can't
last
do it.
person you've used it on. You've used it on everybody else that we've met.
Because everything else has been more.
I want to talk to Ela.
More. Everything
Yeah,
else
okay.
has been more important. And you can only use it once a day.
As the group of you settle in and get a fire going, Matthew kind of takes a place at the back of the chamber and he says, "This isn't a very comfortable location, but if it's safe, then I'm all for
we
it."
think it's safe. We'll find out by morning.
Yeah, notably, your shadows don't seem to stretch as much as they did back in Ravenmore proper, so at
I'm
least
going
in that
to
sense, you're a little more reassured.
get the ruby out of my bag and give it to Hunter.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
Squeak, squeak,
make
squeak.
a circle of sage around our sleeping area.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a wide sleeping area, but you've got enough.
Mhm.
So I think you can send a message of like 25 words to CL.
Okay, so how do we want to construct this? To
In
be
a minute, sit down with Bianco and just have a chat with him.
yes.
I wanna
Bianco
know-
is very happy to chat.
Advantage of it, right?
How to destroy a memory objects?
That. What do
Or-
I want them to
well,
destroy it?
How
Or
to dispose of it? What's the safest way to dispose of it?
yeah.
Where Alkene can't reach? Whether that's destruction or taking it somewhere to another plane.
How to safeguard a magic item? I mean, we can just be really general about it.
Bianco, what are they talking about?
I don't fully understand the meaning of everything that is said. However, it seems as if they're speaking about using this stone in their possession to communicate with someone.
Oh yeah,
And he
that's...
kind of raises an eyebrow at you.
And I like explain how the stone works.
Ah, I see. I've seen the stone used before, but I had no understanding of what was going on. I just
So-
understood that one
Yeah, we don't-
spoke into it.
We don't need to tell them what it is.
So
Just
maybe you want, if I just use safeguard a magic item, maybe that's
call it a powerful artifact.
powerful artifact. Okay, so do they know who the message is coming from?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll know it's me.
Mhm.
Alright.
I'm sorry, who was that?
See y'all.
Seal.
Oh, I thought it was Amanda.
No, we can't get a touch with Amanda because he's blocked
That's
by.
right.
So that's like only a quarter of our characters. Is there anything else we want to say? How to meet up with you or
I
something?
have so much I want to say. I'm so upset right now.
Maybe Bianca can work as a translator.
Definitely tell them where we are. In
So-
in the Yuan-Ti temple outside Ravenmoor.
Okay. So.
And then it can be up to them whether they decide to come meet us or not.
Outside.
I can't believe this was the wild magic result you chose.
Well, I misread it.
Oh,
I misread it,
I see.
which is why I made the decision to change it last minute. Otherwise, I would have gone with the other one.
I like it quite a bit, though.
It's hilarious, and I don't regret it, but I did misread it. And when it says for the next 24 hours you lose the ability, and I thought it says for the next 24 hours you get the ability to communicate without comprehend languages. So I thought, like, oh, so I get to speak every language and I can talk to animals. That's amazing.
So we've used 10
Definitely
words.
It's the result.
What's the message so far?
This is
At
much
Yuan-Ti
worse.
temple outside Ravenmoor, need help safeguarding powerful artifacts.
Oh my god. There's spells that you
Yeah,
Harmony's speaking like an animal.
any advice or help would be
I
helpful.
do have spells that help vocal components.
Any advice
But I don't know if that counts as
or help
it's
would
not, it doesn't count as
be-
communicating.
What would?
My verbal components of my spells.
No. So you can
So I
still
can still use spells.
use spells normally.
17.
I'm kind of out of things to say, honestly.
Yeah. Thanks, business partner.
He's taking this so much more seriously than I ever
So that's
did.
20. So, okay.
That's good.
So we have
So what is
20.
the
So it
exact
says, it's over. Good?
Yeah.
At Yuan-Ti temple outside Ravenmoor, need help safeguarding powerful artifact. Any advice or help would be, or that's kind of silly, any would be helpful, but you know what I'm trying to say. Thanks, business partner.
Okay. And Seal. How would Seal take that?
Well, they're my business partner, so they have to take it professionally, of course.
For a weekend, like those reports and stuff.
The message you get back from Seal is,
So we do get it. That's good.
I'd love to help, but I'm quite a ways away from Ravenmoor. And I can't come back at the moment. Harmony will understand. And yeah, that's the message you get.
Okay.
So nothing about the
No.
artifact.
No. Well, we can try someone else in the morning.
They don't know.
Crap. Okay.
Ishi doesn't know.
They don't know.
The implication you can take away from Seal's message is that Seal might be able to do something to help you themselves, but based on the message that you sent, they seem unwilling to come and help.
Okay.
So that's not to say that, like, you can be convinced.
We could try again to see all again. Maybe compromise with them in like means of location or whatever they need.
I don't know.
We'll have access to Harmony's, teleportation magic.
Hopefully, in the morning we'll
And
tell Harmony where we need to go.
That's true.
Byakko looking around and kind of seeing the frowning faces of Hunter and Thaddeus based on the response that they got, says, it doesn't look like the response was favorable.
Honestly, I'm not surprised. It's kind of a long shot. I think Seal's pretty proud of me.
I should probably sleep on it. And maybe it's either Seal again or somebody else with this knowledge.
I could talk to my patron in Adeus, but I think that's a longer shot than Seattle, honestly.
Okay, this is kind of a weird thought, but would your brother know anything about it? He has kind of weird knowledge
Here's the thing
like that.
about my brother. Yes, he would. And also, he's the last person in the world I want to know about this artifact.
Yeah, Dawn raises an eyebrow
Second
at
being
that and
Valerie.
doesn't comment on it.
Yeah.
I get up and I walk over to Hunter and I hold my hand out.
High five. Low five. Left hand.
I point to the ruby.
Yeah. No, wait, no. We're gonna use it tomorrow.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow,
We still need it.
We still needed it.
wow, 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 wow.
How do you?
Check your head.
I can't. I don't know what you're
I'll just
saying.
say, how do you do interpretive dance?
I mean, you could roll a performance check.
Right. I'm gonna roll
And we'll see
performance
if you
for
can
trying
convey the idea
to
to Carmen.
trying to convey my feelings.
We'll just say like a DC 10.
Oh wait, I need this one. Okay.
It's a pretty simple idea.
Okay, I did it. Okay. So I rolled 15 on the die, and it's 15.
Yeah, so Harmony, Hunter makes some complicated gestures.
So
You get the impression that he still needs the gem until tomorrow.
I'll give it back. Should I performance check too?
Yeah, you can make a performance
yeah,
check too.
okay.
While you were sitting next to Bianco, Eli came over and kind of sat with you and tried to chat with you.
10.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you get the idea. She like makes motions that insinuate that she intends to give it back. She doesn't. You don't figure out based on her motions when she intends to give it back to you.
So
Yeah, it's true.
hands are really over.
And honestly, we haven't figured out anybody else that we want
That's
to
our really head.
anyway. Seattle's a long shot. I meant it's a long
I
shot.
like your tiger better.
My brother is right out.
It's like a growl.
I like my tiger
Never
better.
met-
Never met.
You've never met anybody in your travels who know about these types of things?
Would I?
Your grandfather knew shanties that talked about a lot of legends of the sea. You were briefly a member of the Undercity Sisterhood, which is a network that has knowledge about a vast number of things,
That would actually
collecting
be really good.
and hiding things.
We would. What was that gal's name?
The one that hired you?
Yeah.
Your handler or whatever?
Alyssa, was it? I think it was Alyssa.
Yeah, Alyssa.
She would be the only one.
She's with
Remember,
my
you
brother.
you know her because
No,
you
Valerie is the
hired-
name of her brother.
Oh,
Alyssa's
You guys-
her handler.
Oh, right,
you guys
right.
hired me
Different
through her.
Yeah,
She
that's
would
right.
know anything.
The problem is that if she doesn't, she would have to ask her people, right, the network, and then we would still be like a day's transit of information sharing.
What did you say you wanted?
He came over and tried to talk with you, but all you could hear was the wah, 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 wah. So he eventually,
I just pat him on the arm.
gave up and just kind of settled down on the other side of Bianco.
I go back and resume my.
The reason I was thinking of Gavin was he was a real bookaholic. So if there was any way we could kind of sneak into his room and if he had a book about it, we could kind of steal it, borrow it. If you want to say borrow it, I know you don't have the word stealing. Maddie, sweetie.
don't push it. That is about as far as I'll allow that particular line to go.
Well, you won't call me captain, so there you go.
Have you never asked him to call you captain?
That's true. I can't think of anyone else.
Me neither.
Aside from Seal.
It may just be that it's best in our hands.
I think, well, that or, I mean, I think we ought to try Seal again tomorrow
We
morning.
can.
Okay, we'll do that. I think that's, feel like handing it to anyone else.
I have a book with arcane properties in my inventory for some reason. Do you remember what that
I do
is?
remember what that's from. It was on Orion's person when he died.
You've never looked into it.
Uh-uh.
Great.
We
Glad
got a
we
little
have that.
distracted with
Yeah.
Feywild stuff.
And burning the body.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip through it now.
So,
Yeah, it's not written in a language that you can understand at this point in time. It just looks like
Are there blank
gibberish
pages at the back?
that, maybe one or two.
Okay.
I'm gonna like pet Bianca and be like, Why do you like her more than me now?
I'll say there are various bits of it that aren't language per se, but actually like arcane equations and things like that. So you can make an Arcana check to maybe get some of the properties of what this book might be.
How does Byakko react?
When
I say, why do you like her more than me now, and I'm like petting him?
he rubs against the wooden part of your leg and perks. And you hear Byakko saying, "Oh, honey." It's okay.
Harmony just starts laughing.
Hunter like walks away for a second.
20.
Byakko pads away from Harmony and goes and settles down next to Hunter. And then when Byakko has settled down next to Hunter, you catch Byakko's eye and he kind of gives you a wink.
I wink back.
I catch that wink.
My Arcana check was a 20.
Oh,
20,
yeah.
okay. With intelligence, right?
With intelligence, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you skimming through it get the idea that this book, when read cover to cover by someone, will have some effect on that person. But that's all you can determine.
Oh, interesting.
And it's a thick book, so it would take some time to read cover to cover.
I'm gonna give it to Sadius.
I'll look at it.
Say, it's a present.
And you hear like bird chirping sounds.
I'll like flip to the first couple pages to see if it's written in a language I can understand.
Yeah, it's written in common.
Oh, well, there you go. All right.
I'm really happy because it's me. The last time I gave him something, it was a love potion.
Yeah.
I
Last
don't know.
time that you gave me something, it was the tiara smiling.
Smiles and frowns.
Yeah.
Oh, I have that other thing I could. My disguise self hat I could work on before bed. I have low level spell spots left. Are you looking at the book still, or?
I like to put it away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's definitely not a Gloriana work or anything like that.
I'm
It's not
gonna-
a work of fiction. It is
It's not a Gloriana book. You don't care.
the bits that you
What's
get.
the title?
There's no title.
Okay.
It's kind of bound in a bluish cover. It's definitely a decorative cover. This would fit well in like a royal library or something like that. And as you open it up and begin to flip through, you can see that it's full of like memory and logic exercises. But as you're reading them, the words kind of almost like leap out at you, and they sort of crystallize into like nuggets of understanding in your brain as you're reading them, just briefly.
All right. I'm not going to spend tonight reading this. I'm just going to put it away in my bag for now.
I mean, it's interesting, but it's no work of romantic fiction, so.
I'm gonna go sit down next to Eli after giving the book to Sadius, and I'm gonna take out my fancy hat.
The paper one?
No, the one I bought to enchant.
Oh, right.
And I'm gonna attack him, like,
He looks curious.
and then put the hat down. And I'm gonna start try to finish enchanting it with disguise self.
Okay.
I'm at 2 successes.
Alright, so roll your Arcana check with Charisma.
Right.
I want to finish my
Wild magic is not primed at the moment?
No, because that's why I can't talk to anyone right now.
Mine was just need a night to assemble.
Right. So you can spend tonight finishing assembling the last bits of the battery pack that you attach to your sword, and when you fire it up, the sword crackles with electricity.
Finally!
Find out what that does later.
Huh?
Find out what that does when you
Okay,
use it, I
great.
guess.
Oh, perfect.
So
Done. I'm finally marking this one up. I'm doing this for so long. No.
14.
14, it's not a failure, it's not a success either. So keep your numbers where they are. Something about your inability to like comprehend languages and things right now is just throwing off your focus. Like you can hear all the conversation going around the room. It's just like wah, 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 wah. And Pinky is also constantly like just will occasionally be like, I want more food. I could do with more food. More food would be great. Hey, pink lady, food please. Things like that just disrupt your focus.
I'm gonna kill that rat. I swear to God.
Oh.
Fancy state.
happy with it. So I sigh and I put it away.
I think noticing Harmony's frustration, I would like point Fiacco over there and be like, maybe you should comfort
He
her
rubs
again."
his head against your leg. And Harmony, as he's purring, you hear him say, "It's okay, I love you too. I just wish you would understand." But he's just kind of rubbing his head against Hunter's leg. So
Okay.
the metal plates actually feel great to him. So
Scratch post.
Yeah.
Scratch post leg, maybe that's my next invention. The wooden part. Oh god.
I'm gonna curl up into bed.
Yeah, it's like
Eli takes up a place next to you and unrolls a sleeping roll. And as the lights from the campfire go out and things like that, you find that his hand is kind of reaching towards your bed a little bit, just like laying. It's just like he's laying there with his hand stretched towards you. You don't know if he's awake or asleep at this point, but his hand is there.
deception
I'll
check.
curl
Eli.
up facing him. Like in a little ball. Yes.
And when you do, you can see his eyes flutter open a little bit, and there's like a little bit of a knowing, understanding. But and he mouths something, or he whispers something, but it just sounds like. We don't understand what he says, but he says something, and then he closes his eyes again. And yeah, everyone finds a long rest
Yeah.
without issue. Matthew is probably the last to fall asleep, just complaining about the discomfort of the cage, or the cage.
The cage. It's a different game now.
Yep. But each of you finds a long rest, wakes up in the morning feeling as rested as you can, having slept in a cave. So you can regain hit points, half your hit dice,
My spells.
all that
My
jazz.
sorcery. This is the first time I've used all of my sorcery points. I think.
Yeah, you were out.
I was completely out. And all of my third level and higher spells I used.
I was close to using all my class features and everything. Like my divine sense was almost tapped.
For some reason, that makes me really proud of myself.
That you down Harmony 6 times at one
No, I
point.
just felt like I used up everyone's abilities.
3 times!
Yeah, I was complete. All I had left was Indomitable, I think.
No, 4
And,
times.
I also had second wind too. that
Because I
didn't
think
use.
I was down once last session, and then 3 times tonight.
That's rough.
4
It was a
times.
lot.
I wasn't trying to pick on you, you were just right there, and you kept using all these important spells that they wanted to knock out.
I get it.
So we've got like
That's 2.
5 minutes left.
I'll
You
order
guys
it.
want to decide on like a direction for the day?
Well, we want to talk with Seal, so probably drum up some way to do that, and then I guess we're going back, right?
Is today the day that we? Well, is today the day we want to confront Queen's body? Because that's got to happen sometime.
Dawn says, if we want to make our way into the Shadowfell and deal with the root problem without keying,
Are you making
we're gonna have
berries?
to.
Yeah, I'll make the bears. You can develop it normally.
I agree.
2.
So
Yeah, it's
that's
gonna
my
have to
vote,
happen.
for what it's worth.
Well, I
Do
think
we want to make a detour into the sewers first to tell
Harmony, the rest, this is still like,
tell the refugees that it's safe to come here?
so.
Can we send Matthew? Or would he make
You
it?
would.
I would not send Matthew. back
So,
to the
I
city.
think-
I don't think
I-
he would go.
If I have my way, I'm not going back to that city until all those snake creatures are out of there.
You can stay here then.
I'm unaware of
I
anything
don't
that they're
particularly
talking
want to
about,
stay here either.
But I'm gonna go up to Mara.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna hand her a potion of vitality.
Okay, so Harmony comes up and hands you a mysterious
Okay.
potion.
Thanks, Harmony.
Do I know
what it
I'm gonna do this.
Roll a
Her muscles
performance
move.
check.
I'm gonna look. 16.
Yeah, I mean, Harmony
And I'm
is
gonna
able
point
to-
at Hunter and then do this.
is able to convey that this potion will do something to bolster your strength.
Like,
Ignore talking with Thaddeus. I think first order of business is to secure this artifact.
Do you want to try talking to Seal again, or should I?
Maybe I
I feel like
should.
you know them better.
Yeah, I think I'll do it. I'll do it. And then, so securing this, and I really don't want to take this into the Shadowfell. Because he's trying to get it there.
No, I agree. I'm with you.
right? So the first order of business for me is taking care of this and securing it, and then Phoenix Lottie, and then the Shadowfell.
That's fair.
Eli says, just to put the offer on the table, I know that it's not necessarily the best plan, but if we want to get this thing away from here, I'd be willing to take this back to Redwater.
You can take Moonlight Sparkle there.
Yeah, if you go back to the tower, Moonlight Sparkle will take you wherever you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's an option. If you want to get this memory out of here, if we can get back to the tower, I'd be happy to take Moonlight Sparkle and get out.
Wouldn't it be the best option? Because this is so important. Shouldn't we all, like, just teleport there and then make our way back or something?
It's going to take a while. And remember, we do still have names to consider.
I know.
I know that you and I know that Harmony, if she were able to hear me right now,
I know
would
she
want-
can't.
would chime in to say that we have to take care of Bandits.
Yeah.
Yaku says, they keep mentioning the name of that that dragon they've talked about before. Mandad. My hearing is not the best when it comes to spoken
Mandus.
language.
Man,
Yes, that's the one.
Man,
we're trying to save him, you know.
Yes, I got that much. I know the gist of the mission.
I think it's a good plan. I think, Eli, if you're comfortable traveling alone,
Roll an insight check.
not bad. 15?
He looks scared but resolute, and he says, "Yeah, I can do it. It's I'm sure it will be dangerous, but I know that getting this away from the hands of Alkeen is important.
Bianco, what's the plan?
I don't fully understand. Something about the blue-skinned one doing something.
Doing what?
Come
I
on,
didn't
you're
get
my
it.
key to understanding what they're talking about.
I told you I don't fully understand
Just be
everything
like-
they talk about."
You need more training.
Vyako like shrugs the massive tiger shoulders.
I look at Pinky and I'm like, how about you? Did you catch any of that?
I'm too hungry to understand anything they're saying.
Oh, you're useless.
I can hear he like the mouse like gestures at its stomach. Like I can hear it rumbling.
There's like hashtag needs speak with animals. Or something. I think when I level, maybe I'll get that one.
Yeah.
Oh god. Maybe we'll level soon.
Possibly.
Maybe.
Okay, so the general direction is that you want to
Secure the artifact in some way, and then if we feel sufficient, then go for Phoenix Lottie.
Okay.
Well, I think we're securing the artifact by giving it to Eli.
Yeah.
So you're going to attempt to talk to Seal, and if
Attempt-
that
yeah.
fails, give it to Eli,
Yeah.
and then go after Ixlai.
Yeah.
Cool. Then let's end today's episode there
Okay.
with that direction in mind. And we'll pick up here next week, 7 p.m. Pacific time, for more Antiheroes Anonymous. Thank you to anyone who tuned in and watched. We always appreciate viewers, so hope you have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye.